Online re-registration is simple. From the McAllen ISD homepage, click on the banner for re-registration to get started. You can also click on the Skyward tab at the top of the page. Log into your Skyward account using your parent username and password. If you do not know your login information, simply contact your child's campus for assistance. Be sure the login area drop-down is set to Family Student Access. A Skyward window will open up. The menu on the left side has two options at the top of the page. The first, New Student Online Enrollment. Use this to register a student who has never been enrolled at McAllen ISD. The second is 2022-2023 Returning Student Registration. Use this to register a student who has already attended McAllen ISD. For today's training, we will be re-registering an existing student. When I click on the 2022-2023 Returning Student Registration button, a window will pop up with a listing of all students on my parent account. You will have to select the child to register and repeat the registration process for each child who will be enrolled next year. Today, we will be registering my son, JJ. When I click on JJ's name, a window pops up. This gives me information on the registration process. Because JJ is already a student at McAllen ISD, he is pre-registered. That means that most of his information is already in the system, and the majority of the steps are for verification purposes only. If there has been a change in information, for example, an address or a phone number, make sure you make those changes in Skyward. This type of information is critical in the event of an emergency. The menu on the right side will take you through all 7 steps of the re-registration process. After each step, you will see a complete step and go to next step button at the bottom of the page. Make sure you click that on every step to verify that you have completed all of the information before you go on to the next step. Not doing this will give you an error at the end of the process. You will see a check mark next to each step you have completed. Again, because JJ is already a student, his information is already loaded into the system. This makes this process go quickly, as I simply need to verify there have been no changes. When I have verified the information is correct, click the Complete the Step and move to the Next Step button at the bottom of the page. Doing so will give me a check mark on the right-hand menu. Repeat the verification process for the remainder of the pages in Step 1. Pay close attention to both the emergency information and emergency contacts. These can change year to year, and it is important your child's school has the most up-to-date information. The next step is to verify ethnicity and race. The United States Department of Education requires all state and local education institutions to collect data on ethnicity and race for students and staff. This information is used for state and federal accountability reporting, as well as for reporting to the Office of Civil Rights and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. School district staff and parents or guardians of students enrolling in school are requested to provide this information. If you decline to provide this information, please be aware that USDE requires school districts to use observer information as a last resort for collecting the data for federal reporting. Please answer both parts of the following questions on the student's or staff member's ethnicity and race. Clicking on the View Full Screen link at the top of this page will make the following screen easier to view. FERPA, Publication Agreement. FERPA stands for Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. These statements pertain to your consent for sharing information about your child, including demographic, contact information, and their photo or likeness for certain school-related and non-school-related purposes. Please read each section carefully. You can also click on the link at the top of the page to read FERPA in full. You can consent to 1, 2, 3, 4, or none of these statements. When complete, please sign your name and date at the bottom of the page. Then select Complete Step 3 and move to Step 4. McAllen ISD provides many resources for students and their families. To help the district identify students who may be eligible for certain resources, the following questions are asked. Please answer each of these questions to the best of your ability, and then select Complete Step 4 and move to Step 5 at the top of the page. Please note you will have to sign each section and date it. If you do miss any of the sections, the system will flag it for you before you can move on. There are a number of policies and procedures you should be aware of. This page allows access to these for your review and acknowledgement. Take a few minutes to review each of these policies and select yes to consent or no to decline each. These policies and procedures include the district's attendance policy, counseling and guidance program, electronic communication system, publications, student safety survey, transportation survey, electronic report card process, and the student transfer agreement for any child attending a school they are not geographically zoned to. Family income surveys will be made available after July 1st. Again, please sign and date the form and select Complete Step 5 and move to Step 6. This page collects information about the child's health. This is where you can indicate any medications, conditions, or other health concerns you may have for your child. There is also a TB questionnaire. Please complete all of this information and then click on the Complete Step 6 and move to Step 7 button at the top of the page. Step 7 is the final verification of registration. You will see a list of the previous 6 steps and their status as completed or pending. If all steps have been completed, you will also see check marks on the menu to the right. Once you are done, click on the Submit 2022-2023 Returning Student Registration button. If you have another child to register, please select the 2022-2023 Returning Student Registration from the menu on the left, and then choose the next child to register. As always, you can contact your child's campus or student outreach at 687-6473 for assistance. Thank you for being part of our McAllen ISD family. McAllen ISD, greatness starts here.